And welcome back to Hannity. We have breaking news tonight out of Maryland. The Baltimore Sun is reporting that the Baltimore County State Attorney's Office has announced it has dropped the charges against the father in Maryland, a guy by the name of Robert Small. He was arrested last week at a school board meeting. Now, Mr. Small was aggressively shoved, arrested, and charged with second-degree assault of a police officer and disturbing a school operation after speaking out at a public meeting about a new school curriculum known as Common Core. Watch what happened when he stood up to voice his concerns.
This is what I will say, in fairness to everyone who asked questions, we do have some that are dovetailing to that.
Let him ask his question.
So the next question. So this is a dovetail.
Don't stand for this. You're sitting here like cattle. You have questions. You confront them. They don't want to do it in public.
Okay, the next
Excuse me, buddy. Hey, this is America. This is not a CNN political debate. You're managing to go through the Hey, that's right. Parents, you need to question these people. Do the research. It's online. Top 10.
Okay, so the next question to our panel. The next question to our panel is Dr. Lowry. I'll ask you.
Joining me with reaction, Fox News contributors Pat Caddell, Deneen Borelli. I think my favorite line there was, "This is not a CNN political debate."
It's outrageous how that parent was treated. I mean, come on.
Oh, it's awful.
He has every right to ask the question, and Common Core is a nightmare.
Explain why it's a nightmare, because I agree with you. Explain.
Yeah, because it's an overreach of government. It's going to be the same one-size-fits-all educational testing standards for children. Kids learn at different levels. Kids are individuals. This is a massive overreach of government where it's taking the control from the parents and just making government even bigger.
They're trying to fit these kids into little boxes, but kids are unique.
And it's about standardized testing.
Right. Well,
it is. Look,
that only is effective to a point, not for every kid. Yeah.
But not every kid learns.
But you know, I mean, the goals are admirable. The problem is the idea of the federal government taking over all of education, which is. But what we saw here is something that's bigger than just this. It is the idea we see in government of the people work for are the slaves to their office holders. The superintendent of schools didn't want to take questions. We see this sort of thing with security. We see it when the EPA goes to Alaska and raids with armed people and 4 agencies going with guns, a gold mining operation, some little town. The things the government does now to oppress people, the laws that we have,
spy on them.
And I was about to get that. The NSA, the fear in people spying on them and imposing what Russ Duhart called a kind of a soft despotism, which is if you get out of line, we'll get you, just like this man got out of line.
So Levin coined the terms, soft tyranny.
Now, the message is you, Johnny and Jane America, you pay your taxes, you sit down and you shut up. Don't challenge big government. And as government gets bigger, Americans are getting frustrated. So when we try to voice our concerns and our frustrations, you're called a racist or you're called an American. He was polite. And the officer was looking for trouble, I think.
Part of this, too, Pat, tell me where I'm wrong, is that public servants aren't public servants anymore.
No, they're gods. We have a political class that thinks they are the oligarchy. And then, as I said, we work for them, that they're the masters and we're the servants instead of a return. And by the way, you go to Washington, look in this city, just look at the limousines, look at the amount of security.
Look at the jobs. It's the only place in the country that's growing jobs and wages.
And the amount of money they pay. It is absurd. And what it has done is built this wall between the American people, who this is their government in their country, and the political class.
I have friends of mine that are activists against Common Core, and they've made the case to me that they've impressed me so much. Friends of mine live in Georgia. You're making the same case. Not every kid fits in the little cookie cutter. Right. So here's a parent. He probably can't afford a private school.
Right.
He has to. All this money goes to public schools.
The public forum.
And then he's stuck.
Right.
And just to express his point of view, this is how we're going to treat the people that pay their salary?
Right. Well, it's too bad more people in the audience didn't stand up and defend him.
Yeah.
But it's not just education. It's the EPA when it comes to energy. You have the regulations that are killing the coal industry and it's killing jobs.
We have a bureaucracy, a country which is run by a faceless bureaucracy which issues rules. It's beginning to look like the European Union. And they do it. But you know what? Look at all these police forces. I mean, the EPA with armed troops. I mean, the number of federal agencies have nothing to do with law enforcement. What is that about? It's about saying, you do what we say or else. And this is wrong. And these people in America are about to take their country back, I think.
Well, look at Obamacare as well.
What do you mean by that?
You look at the polling numbers, the people believe today, Gallup had today, more people say the federal government is more powerful, is too powerful, the highest number in history today.
And Obama's
almost
ratings
4
are
out of
going
10
down.
Wait a minute, because I think this fits into this health care debate.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to shift it, but one of the reasons that Ted Cruz is so popular and Rand and Mike Lee is because every one of these guys, every Republican, Pat, whether you agree or disagree, they all ran to get rid of and repeal Obamacare. Here's their moment of truth, and guess what they're doing? There's some of them, they're trying to weasel their way out of it and attacking the guy that's actually doing it.
You know, I said this was the night it passed. When the next day I was on your show, I called it a crime against democracy. I believe jamming this thing down, the American people in revolt, I don't happen to think this is the right strategy. I mean, I think it gets you somewhere. I think they should have gone at the IRS.
I think
they
it should
have
be
taken
defunded.
on the IRS
the
running it.
public opinion, I think it's like 53% of Americans are opposed to Obamacare, and they're opposed to how Obama is
7 out of 10 are
handling
worried about it.
Obamacare. That's right.
And 78%
Job
believe the IRS
losses.
shouldn't be enforcing it. And I don't on the Fox poll. Said it's two-thirds of Democrats.
Just for saying that, they're going to come after your tax
They
Fidel.
shouldn't be.
I'm
You're a
already-
rich, you're
I'm
wearing a
already
Trump
dead.
tie. That means you're a rich guy.
I'm a dead man. Is what you mean.
I say that. They'll say Hannity threatens Goodell. You know, I can't win if I said that.
But this is this is how it works in the healthcare where people are being pushed and they don't
We
want
gotta
it.
go.
Not
Appreciate
good.
it, guys. Thank you.